and welcome to the NextPlay Podcast, a gaming and pop culture podcast brought to you by the team behind NextPlay Australia. I'm your host, Jamie, and joining me today is Brad.
Hello.
And Berto.
Hello.
On today's show, the first show of the year, mind you, we will be discussing the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement, what the big three will be releasing this year, plus our predictions for the rest of the year as well. But first, it's been a few weeks, so let's chat about what we have been playing during the break. Brad, would you like to go first?
Yes, I feel like you have nominated me to go first, so yes, I will. I played a lot, but not a lot. I made quite a mark in Silent Hill 2, so I don't know how far I'm into it, but like I did push through it because I stopped playing through reviews in October last year. Enjoying it, very creepy atmosphere, like it gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I kind of like understand why it was our horror game of the year because crazy. Resident Evil 1 remastered. I started playing that. Pretty good. Those fixed camera the fixed camera is awful.
You didn't like
No, because like when you like go into the next frame and it changes your position and then you accidentally walk back into it and then you keep doing it over and over again. That was my life. And I like ran around for like 2 hours without a ink ribbon, so I couldn't save the game and I was low on health. It was all very stressful. Also been playing Marvel Rivals with you two actually and Ben. Still enjoying that. They added Mr. Fantastic. I keep going to say Mr. Incredible, but that's not right.
What a crossover.
He should be in it. He should be.
He's very, seems overpowered to me, but maybe it's just because he was new and no one really knew how to combat him yet. And played a bit of... yes, you do. Also played Helldivers 2 for a bit there, for a couple weeks. I get it now. Like, it's fun. That's all I have to say. And probably the favorite game I played over the break was Uncharted 2. I played that for the first time. Nice. Loved it. Thought it did drag on a tiny bit at the end where it just felt like you're shaking your head, but you're biased. So
I love it,
yeah, loved it. I've started Uncharted 3, so I'll give my thoughts on that when I finish that. But honestly, I'm just so excited to play Uncharted 4. So yeah, that's everything I've been playing.
Berto, how about yourself?
Yeah, similar boat where like I've been playing, but I haven't been playing. So I've spent the past few weeks still working through the Christmas break. I didn't get much time off, unfortunately, but obviously with family and everything, that's been a lot of fun. Games that I've played, I genuinely forget the name. The Curse of the Moon or something like that. It's like the
Black
2D
Pearl.
platformer. No, not Black Pearl. Definitely not that one. But I've been playing. It'll come to me eventually. I think it was the creator for Castlevania, and they did like a Kickstarter in a 2D version. Anyway, I'm sure Jamie will remember it. If you play the sound, Jamie will get. And I've also been playing Diablo 4. I was pretty obsessed with that for a little while there. Genuinely obsessed. And as I went down that rabbit hole, I don't know. It's a great game. I haven't played it since, obviously, Diablo 3 when that came out ages ago. It's very dense, very full on. It's a lot more darker. The only thing I don't like that, obviously, it's all online. So even if you have the disc, you still need to log on to the server and everything like that. But I think Diablo has always been like that anyway. So, yeah, genuinely obsessed with Diablo 4. And then I've just picked up a JRPG that I'm reviewing. So the Tales game at the moment. So, yeah, those three at the moment. I'm into my RPGs at the moment, I've noticed.
I really like the Tales series.
Yeah, it's fun. They're good.
I think
I've
I started
never played
with...
one.
I think I played Zillia, or the one that starts with the X and that had a sequel.
Yeah,
I played both of
Zillia.
those. I love them. Yeah. Alrighty, so I didn't have a bunch of family stuff over the holidays, and I did get time off, so I have been playing a decent amount. I'll try not to linger too much on everything, though. I went through Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, got the platinum for that. A fantastic game, probably would have been up there as one of my favorites from last year if I had actually played it before we did the Game of the Year awards. It's a very long game, let's just say, but I actually think it was quite rewarding if you're a long fan of the series. So I really enjoyed it. A game called A Space for the Unbound. Now, I remember I discussed with you quickly, Brad, you reviewed this in the past. Really hit home for me. This is the sort of bread and butter in terms of let's do a sad game for me. And it's sort of really a lot of similarities between my personal life and the game itself. So it was a super special adventure for me. I really enjoyed it. I think I also popped the platinum for that one. I've been kind of on a platinum spree lately. I decided to go and check out Dredge as well, which I finally played. Now, people may have mixed opinions, but I played it on Pacifist, which basically just means all the horror is just taken out of it. I didn't want the horror element. Yeah.
That's
so
the best part.
I played the wuss version, which would basically just turned it into a Pokemon game where you're just catching all the rare fish. And I really enjoyed it, to be honest. It was a nice, relaxing game for me. And like I said, it took out the horror element. So you still basically can smash into rocks and everything. Like, you don't really have good visibility at night when you're exploring. But yeah, like the monsters and shit can't do anything to you, basically. So
Can you still see them?
You can still see them. Like, there will still be. So I think it's like the first bigger area you go to, where it's like you sort of winding in between the rocks, and you'll see rocks falling down, and it will like swim around you. So you'll see it, but like nothing will happen. Like, you won't get the anxiety meter or anything doesn't go up really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took a big chunk of what the game actually is and took it out, and it was nice and relaxing and chill. Hannah would have a lot of respect for me for playing the cozy version of Dredge.
I think that's smart of them to include a cozy version for people, because it does get a bit scary.
Yeah, I'd like to replay it maybe down the line when I'm more in the mood for it, but I really wanted to check it out, and I actually really love the game even without those elements. But the main one that I've been focusing on over the last 2 weeks has been, I had spoke about it previously about getting back around to The Last of Us Part 2, and I made the whole way through. I still stand by a lot of my original thoughts, because for context, anyone watching us or listening for the first time, The Last of Us is my favorite game of all time. You put me into a room and I would talk your ears off about it nonstop. Last of Us Part 2 was a sequel I never thought we'd get, and I do appreciate the story it tries to tell. I think the game itself is incredibly long, and I think it was once again reiterated to me just how drawn out a lot of sequences are. Like, I still think it's for me, maybe I would score it 8.5 or a 9. Like, I still really like it. I just don't think it's this grand epic adventure that a lot of people had said when it first came out, when it was getting 10s all over the place. Yeah, everything's drawn out. And like, even the ending, like, I forgot how long that is, where it's like, this story is done. Now it's here. Now it's here. Now you're in like Santa Barbara, and it just keeps going. And it doesn't need to.
I will say, I wouldn't have minded if it just ended when you first go to the farm. Like, that would have been fine.
Like, I understand the ending they wanted to get to. Like, I get that. But it just, it's a little long in the tooth for me. And I still stand by that, even replaying it. But I really do enjoy the story that it tries to tell. And I still I still think come the end of it, Ellie is the villain. Like, she's literally threatened to kill a kid because she wants to fight Abby. Spoilers if you haven't played it. But yeah, she's the villain come the end of it, and I will happily discuss. Everyone's a villain, let's be fair. But in terms of the true villain come the end credits, like, she is, in my opinion. That's all.
It ended
Another
the same way ended the same way the first game ended, which is the protagonist becoming the villain. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We really
well, there we go.
do a podcast about it. We
We
really
should, yeah, especially with the season 2 coming up. Oh, I
We'll
can't wait
do
for
it.
the internet to catch fire over that.
Heavy opinions.
All right. So we've also had a couple of reviews pop up on the website as well. Firstly, we're going to talk about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which was reviewed by Alex. He loved it. He gave it a 9 out of 10, saying Indiana Jones and the Great Circle hits the exact spot with a whip-cracking precision, even if the fascist enemies are a bit one-note. Troy Baker's performance is incredible, which only furthers the game's focus on immersion and exploration. Machine Games has more than proven just how incredible a first-person Indiana Jones game can be without sacrificing that tender and earnest aspect of the films. Fans will certainly appreciate this new era. Fun fact, I've never watched a Indiana Jones film to completion. Brad.
I also haven't watched an Indiana Jones film ever.
Jesus
But
Christ, guys.
I made a list of 100 films that I'm going to watch for the first time this year. And all of the Indiana Jones films are on that. So I will get to them soon and report back. But on another note, I have played a bit of The Great Circle, and it is fun. I still don't know. Yeah. Like, I don't love it, but it's good.
I've seen the movies, most of them except for the most recent one. I love the old 80s ones. They're fun. It's a lot of fun, right? But the one thing that, I haven't played this one yet, but it's definitely tempting me a lot more than what I originally had planned to, because I haven't heard a negative thing at all. Like, usually with some from what I've read, I haven't really heard anything that's overly dismissive. Usually you see something ridiculous or, someone trolling on it. But I haven't really heard anything negative about this game other than the fact that it was stuck on Game Pass or Xbox at the moment. But I'm generally going to check it out when it gets released on the PS5.
Yeah, same here. Can't wait for it to be released on the console I actually want to play it on. So I look forward to that. Which is good as well, because I won't lie, I was worried about it looking into gameplay leading up to it. I thought we'd probably get like maybe some 7s and stuff, but it seems to have blown everyone quite away in terms of scores. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out.
Won a few awards as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Surprising.
We also have another review on the website that is Dragon Quest 3 HT 2D Remake. This was reviewed by Nate. He gave the game a 8 out of 10, and he says Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake is an honest, faithful remake of an iconic property, for better or worse. The game's stunning updated visuals and orchestric pieces are sure to immerse you with new and updated systems, doing well to smooth some rough edges that persist from the original game. Has anyone played the 2D remake?
No, but it looks good, and it's something I want to play this year.
I bought it.
This is... Oh, you have?
I bought it. The question was, have you played it? So I bought it.
True. Sorry, I forgot what my question was. Was it still?
No, I wish, man. There was a collector's edition, and it's beautiful. All the sprites come in individually, like little models in like this,
nice.
like a Pokemon deck, basically. Like, it's really, really
awesome.
Cool.
Okay, well, seems those 2 reviews are now on the website if anyone wants to go and check those out. I've also just published a article myself. This is a long time coming, this little interview that I conducted during my university degree. This was a conversation I had with Dr. Susanna Emery. She is a game design and digital media lecturer over at the University of South Australia. She was absolutely lovely to talk to, and we talk about her background in video game development, her thoughts about women in video games, and the sort of, unfortunately, the toxicity that they have to deal with at times, and also sort of touching on getting into video game development if you are a female as well. So we touch on a lot of cool things in that interview. I'm really proud of this one. So feel free to go and check that out, which I've also promoted on my socials, which you will find out what they are at the end of the show. But we also have, I believe, a contest on our website at the moment. So this is the first competition of the year, and you can win the sold-out Helldivers 2 DualSense wireless controller, plus a copy of the game. The competition itself closes on February 6th, so you still got about 3 weeks to get into this one. So don't miss out. All the content and the competition can be found at next-play.com.au. All right, so now we're going to talk about what's coming from the big three in 2025. Before we get into our predictions as well, let's just recap what we know is coming from Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo in 2025. So Xbox, obviously controllers. We don't have that in the script, but we know that's coming. Fable, Avowed, which I've gone a complete 180 for this. I'm really excited for Avowed now.
It comes with a steelbook. Have you seen the steelbook?
No,
I haven't. Is it the cover of the game?
What's the cover of the game?
Yeah. It's got a skull. I know that. Like a skeleton thing. But,
the cover art is gorgeous.
Like a skeleton, and it has this like a rainbow effect.
Yeah.
Oh,
that steelbook would be. Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome. We've also got Doom: The Dark Ages, which I believe this is also coming to PlayStation. I think. Someone fact track me. South of Midnight. That's another one I'm interested in. Go and check out the little documentary that Xbox released on that one as well, if you haven't, because it's really interesting. Replaced and Call of Duty 2025. That series will never end. PlayStation also has Ghost of Yotei, Fair Games, and on the Nintendo side, we have Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, which I believe is out now.
Yeah, came out last week.
There we go. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, Pokemon Legends ZA, the Nintendo Switch 2 itself, and Mario Kart 9. So, some talking points. Firstly, what are we excited about, Berto?
For what, all three?
Your heart's content, whatever you want to do.
Oh, boy. What am I excited about? This is different to the predictions, right? I can't predict them right now.
The script says they're different, so
stick to the script, Roberto. What am I excited for? Number one by far is Nintendo Switch, which we'll talk about soon. That's what I want. That's been 8 years now. So it's been a long time coming. It's a shame. We'll talk about the Nintendo Switch later. So that's what I'm excited about. Obviously GTA, but we'll talk about that later as well. I'm excited about that one if it gets released this year. I'm more interested to see what Sony is doing this year, because last year I felt like they were very, very quiet, and I think they actually set the tone at the beginning of last year by saying they would be very quiet for 24. So let's see what they're cooking. Xbox, man, I don't know where they're at anymore. I really don't. I have some predictions for Xbox, but I'll keep that later. But I'm excited to see if they do anything a little bit different this year. I think Xbox is trying to do a Nintendo and chart their own journey and chart their own path. And I wish them all the success in the world, because obviously innovation comes from that.
All right, Barad, how about yourself? What are you excited for?
I am excited for Fable, if that comes out this year. And I'm also excited for the Switch too, obviously, and Pokemon Legends ZA. Bit concerned for PlayStation because their lineup seems a bit light for first-party titles anyway. They've got a large list of PS5 exclusives coming out, but what the PlayStation studios are working on are unknown at the moment. So, but obviously excited for Ghost of Yotei as well.
Alrighty, well, for me as a non-Xbox owner, as I said, I'm actually quite interested in Avowed and South of Midnight. So when they release on the PlayStation, I'll check those out. As for Ghost of Yotei, I'm very excited for it. I love Tsushima, so I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, Switch 2, but I've had a massive Pokemon itch for quite a while, so especially since the last one was too buggy for me to enjoy. So I'm looking forward to Zar when that eventually
Stop
occurs.
calling it that.
It's what it is. It's Zar. I'm not changing. Do not
Okay.
make me change.
What is it
All
really?
right.
I say ZA.
See,
I believe it's Zar. Yeah.
Well, it was
so-
X and Y. Why would it not be ZA?
oh yeah. I thought that.
Anyways, you're derailing the show. Brad,
That's
for
my
you,
job.
is there anyone you are concerned about for the year to come? So I'm guessing that means one of the big three, which I guess you kind of
Yeah.
touched on PlayStation.
I'm not concerned. I'm just like wondering what else they're gonna have. And I think Xbox are gonna have a great year, and obviously Nintendo too, because well, it seems like they're gonna be the only one to release a new console this year. But yeah, I'll talk more about Nintendo soon.
Yeah, I think I'm not concerned about PlayStation. I kind of feel in the same boat as you. Like, obviously, they must have some cards close to their hand that they're holding off of. So we'll see. But I think, as Berto was saying about Xbox, like it is very not transitional, but Xbox are really sort of shifting in terms of it's not so much a console as it is a platform that you can play everywhere. So, like over Christmas, the missus got me a Fire Stick. So, I'm going to be checking out Hellblade 2 soon. And I don't have the console whatsoever. And I'm going to use my DualSense controller to play it. So, the
Nice.
Xbox itself is like very different. It's not really a console at all. It's just like an ecosystem that you can just play wherever you want. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting. And if they have good games to back it up, like I said, I'll probably be jumping into the Xbox a lot more than I've got the Fire Stick, and if the streaming works on my internet. But I'll keep people informed on that one. How about yourself, Berto? You concerned with any of these?
I'm concerned predominantly for the dates being pushed back. That's it. I think Yotei might get pushed back. I think GTA 6 might get pushed back. Like, I think there's a lot of uncertainty and not enough. Even if the date's cemented, it seems to be the trend lately to push them back a little bit further. What I'm pretty sure Assassin's Creed got pushed back again over the Christmas break.
Yeah,
Was that?
it did.
Yep.
Yeah.
So even though they said originally they're so certain it's going to come out, so that's the only thing. The hardest thing now is because the industry, because it's such a high risk, high reward system that they got at the moment. Like, I just hope they really commit to it. Create a lot of energy and a lot of buzz to get that celebration back again. I think we're missing that in the gaming community, in my opinion.
Alrighty, one thing hopefully we're not missing is some of our predictions this year. So we're allowed to pick 3 each.
So
Let's
you got
just
6?
So I got about 18.
God.
We will just get everyone to do you want to do this just around the room? We'll go one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
We'll do that.
And keep circling.
I'm gonna go first. I
Here we go.
believe Starfield or Hellblade will come to PlayStation this year. Not both. One of them will. That's what I think. So at some point, maybe around the Summer Games Fest or whatever they call E3 nowadays, we'll get Starfield. I think they were just holding off for the expansion to come out so they could compile it all together and bring it out on
Which
the
one more
PlayStation.
though?
I'd prefer Hellblade because I'd like to get the platinum for it. because I'm a bitch when it comes to platinums, and I've already got the original one, so I'd like that. I check out both those, to be honest. I do want to check out Starfield for myself, because I know Brad really enjoyed it, but then I've heard a few people say mixed, so I'd like to see what it is for myself.
Yeah.
Berto, how about you? What's your first prediction?
First prediction is for Xbox. They're going to release an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer, and it will be a release date in the next 2 years. And then after they do that, see, this is how specific I was thinking about. Okay, just so you know, all my predictions are very specific. Once they release the trailer, they'll release the remake of Oblivion. So they won't release Elder Scrolls 6. That's coming in a couple years' time. But they'll have the trailer. Hype will go through the roof, and then they go, Game Pass day one, Oblivion remake tomorrow.
Yeah,
I don't think you get more specific unless you pick the date and time.
Yeah, literally.
26th of October.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, 26th of October. Imagine if I'm right. How terrible.
I've heard rumors about a remake for Oblivion, so like it's not far off the cards, I think.
It's not out of the question, no.
Yeah.
I'm staying close to like what I'm hearing as well. Obviously not getting too hyped over things.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All right, Brad, how about you?
Okay. Pokemon Legends ZA will be a launch title for the Nintendo Switch 2, which will be out in June.
Oof. What a launch title.
Isn't it weird how they like announced it and like had a trailer for it like 8 months ago and we haven't heard anything about it now?
They've been waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Plus, like, having Pokemon as a heavy hitter would be good at launch. So my next two predictions, they're very similar. But first one is I believe we will get a Persona 6 announcement this year. I think there's been a big gap. And, you know, with Metaphor as well received and sort of out of the way, I think now it just sort of give that Atlas a little bit of a little gap there to start focusing on the next big Persona adventure. You know, they got Reload out of the way, that remake. I think it's like perfect timing for it. So even if it's just like a quick trailer or something, I feel like it's time for the next one. So that's my second prediction. Berto?
Okay, this one's more of a I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen. But I predict GTA 6 will get postponed to next year. That's what I predict. I know they said 2025, but I have a feeling something's going to happen and it's going to get pushed back and everybody's schedules for next year is just going to be absolutely stupid. I could be wrong, but I reckon there'll be a delay. I know I was talking about delays just earlier, but something tells me about that game. Like they've released the trailer, went all the way up to, you know, trending, but nothing. I don't know. Sounds a bit too quiet.
Yeah, I could see that, to be honest. Yeah. Hopefully they delay that and they'll bring out Red Dead Redemption 3 instead.
Or the remake of the first one.
Oh, yeah, true. Brad, what's your second prediction?
We will get a new Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, and the release date will be Q1 2026. Also a game that's disappeared since it was announced.
Oh, so that was announced at some point, right? It wasn't a fever dream?
Yeah, it was announced.
Okay. We'll see. My third prediction, I'm sticking with the themes of 6. This is mostly just for myself. I really want Devil May Cry 6 to be a thing. And they are doing an anime. There is an animated series of Devil May Cry this year, which was sort of giving me a little bit of hope that maybe we might see 6. It's been about 5 years since I think Devil May Cry 5 came out. And sure, DMC never does the numbers that Resident Evil does for Capcom, but it's a nice palate cleanse, I think, in between the Resident Evil games. So, yeah, as a big fan of the series, I would like another one, please. Berto?
This one's stupid and totally like based on rumors. We're gonna get a trailer for Half-Life 3, and I think every year I think to myself, nah, and I've never fallen for it ever, except for this time I actually fell for it, and it's only because I've seen and I've read a few stories about the voice actors. There's been a few rumors. There was a documentary about Half-Life, I'm pretty sure last year, that was really good. Half-Life 2 on YouTube. Just, yeah, Alex came out in VR, well received, won a lot of awards, and I don't know. Maybe this is the year they do something with that. But yeah, might not mean a lot to a lot of the younger kids, but it means a lot to the older kids, I suppose.
All right, Brad, you want to close us off with your last prediction?
Yes, mine's a stupid one too. Xbox will abolish Game Pass as we know it and make a major change to the service.
Oof, far out.
What that changes, I don't know, but I reckon they're losing money off it, to be honest.
If they don't do Game Pass, what do they do now?
People might have to buy their games.
Oh, very interesting.
A story about that, actually, that they were thinking about heading towards dismantling it.
Okay. It'll be interesting. So at some point near the end of this year, we will look back and see how utterly horrible we were, and we weren't close to be correct on anything.
Pretty much.
But until then, we're going to cross over to Brad to present the news. News.
Yes, so a lot of news happened on our break, but we're only going to be focusing on recent news. And the first one, obviously, is the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2. The console, which will be released this year, was revealed in a stealth-dropped trailer which showcases the Switch 2's larger screen, additional USB-C port, a new dock, larger kickstand, and newly designed magnetic Joy-Cons, which retain the blue and red color palette of the OG Nintendo Switch. The trailer has also teased the next Mario Kart game, which will mark the first new Mario Kart game we've had in 11 years. In terms of hardware specs, we will find out more on April 2 during a Nintendo Direct dedicated to the console. But what we do know is that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be compatible with both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games with some limitations. And that Nintendo Switch Online members will also be able to continue using their service. Nintendo has also announced a hands-on experiences around the world, including one coming up in Melbourne, where you can be the first to experience the new console. Tickets to the event will be made available through a randomly selected draw, similar to the one we've seen with Nintendo Live Sydney last year and the Nintendo Alamo Early Access sign-up. Registrations are open now until January 26. So what are you waiting for? All right, guys. Overall first impressions, Berto.
I love it. I thought the design is just, I don't know. I really love the design, the dark black and then those little highlighted tones. I thought the teaser was exactly that. It's a perfect teaser for it. It was very quiet. Like I actually turned it up thinking there was no music at one point. But it's just so like, I don't know, quaint, I suppose. Definitely looking forward to seeing a lot more. Obviously, that is the point. It looks exactly as I thought that it would look. It's a very safe console from Nintendo.
It is.
Yeah, that's initially when I first saw it, I thought, yep, I'm in. Again, I'd buy anything from Nintendo. So.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I wasn't expecting it to actually be called the Nintendo Switch 2. But I'm glad they didn't do the Wii and like Wii U route, because I think the Wii U flopped because of its name was a bit too confusing. No one knew what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, touching on that, I never worked at EB Games or anything, but I can remember being in a store and a parent come up and go, "So can I use the Wii U on my Wii at home?" And that was. I'm glad they learned from that, and they've just put a number on it. You know, it's the next one. It's clear. It's simple. The trailer itself, like, it didn't give much away. It sort of came across like, you know, it exists. We know it exists.
Yeah.
Let's just get it out in the open, but
Just
we'll
do
show
it.
you the rest at another time. I agree with Berto. I think it looks nice. I think it's what you expected, sort of bigger, looks kind of better than the original just Switch. I like the subtle use of the colors, not so much in your face as the initial Switch with the blue and the red controllers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm keen for it. I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more. And man, did anyone see the redesign of Donkey Kong in the trailer that sort of went viral?
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
seen some shit now, so we'll see what happens.
People went really deep on that.
They
Yeah,
go
I didn't
deep on
notice
anything. So circling back to you, Jamie, what are you hoping to see revealed during the direct?
Long-time listeners will know I went out on a limb and I said Star Fox would be a launch title. I'm not as confident, but I'm still hoping it will. Just for the sake that I would be right. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, if Zara is a launch title, I'll be happy about that because, as I said, I really want to play Pokemon. And I loved the original Legends game that came out. So they're probably the main ones. I'd like to see if they do a new version of the Pro controller. So I'd love to see what that might look like because I actually absolutely adore the Nintendo Pro controller. The Joy-Cons I found were always a little too tiny for me, so it looks like that's getting rectified in this design.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Pro controller itself is up there with the DualSense. I love the feel of that. So how they could improve on that, and if they would reveal that at the Direct, that would be very cool to see.
Yeah. Better. What do you want to see in the presentation?
Quite a lot, actually. I'm going to go a little bit further, I reckon. I reckon they need to 100% talk about the specs, and they will. And they're going to probably marry it up with the old Switch and see, look at the big difference. But of course, it's a big difference. It's 8 years, right? But I don't know if it'll be anywhere near PS5 quality or Series X quality.
So the rumors, I don't like talking about rumors because that's what they are, rumors. But it sounds like it's going to be closer to the PS4 Pro in terms of power, which I'm fine for. Nintendo games don't need to be 4K 300 frames per second.
Yeah.
So, I just want a nice looking Pokemon game. A nice looking 3D Pokemon. Yeah.
And more than 3 frames per second. That's all.
Yeah. We want a digital foundry breakdown.
I'm really glad they've included backwards compatibility. And I'm also wondering if say if you did put Scarlet or Violet into the Switch 2, will there be less frame drops or
if an enhanced version they've done?
So I guess that's what I want to see. I guess
that's what they should. They have to, I reckon. They have to, in my opinion.
Be nice.
Well, it would have to have some kind of AI upscaling or something because the screen's bigger, right? Does that make sense? They've got to have some sort of I don't know, technology to.
This is why we don't develop games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it runs
just
a little
all
bit
speculation.
better, I would be happy, yeah.
All right, so Mario Kart. Do you think it's going to be called Mario Kart 9, or do you think they're just going to do something weird and do like Mario Kart Jamboree or something.
They'll do something different. 100%. They'll do Mario Kart Donkey Kong's new fresh look or something like that. I don't know. But I think they'll whatever the twist is, that'll be it. I mean, people were counting how many spaces there were on the grid.
Yeah, I think it was like
24.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't imagine playing 24 play Mario Kart. That's just insanity, you know?
It would be chaos, but still fun.
So it'll be
but,
called
yeah,
that
very
Mario Kart
chaotic.
Chaos.
There you go.
Super Mario Kart. You heard it
long
here
as-
first.
As long as Waluigi's in it.
He will be, probably.
Any other thoughts about the Switch 2 before we move on?
Yeah, just with the expectations as well, they obviously have to narrow down the price right. And they have to get it right, in my opinion. I don't know what they're going to do with Australian prices, but I don't think it should be more than... I think $5.99 will be it, I reckon.
Yeah.
What was Series X? What was PlayStation 5? They were like 8? 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it also depends if it has an OLED screen too, because that'll bump the price up a bit.
Just,
Let's say
I
you
guess,
have
a
two
thorough
different models,
detail.
maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
I think it'll be between 500 and 600. But again, it's hard to speculate without the hardware. So, moving on to something else that got announced last week was the Blood of Dawnwalker. So this is a new game brought to you by the director of The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt, and it got a new combined cinematic and gameplay trailer last week. So the game is called The Blood of Dawnwalker and is a single-player open-world dark fantasy action RPG set in 14th century Europe and follows Cohen, a young man who has been turned into a Dawnwalker, which is basically a vampire. He must use his skills and combine his vampiric strength and human resolve to save the ones he loves. The cinematic trailer shows Cohen and his sister Lunka being chased and cornered by several knights before being saved by a group of Dawnwalkers in a gore-heavy cinematic. The end of the trailer promises that we will get a more in-depth view this winter, so expect it to be showcased around Summer Game Fest time. Out of you two, who do you think is the biggest fan of The Witcher 3?
Probably Jamie.
Yeah, it's probably me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Are you excited for this? Because it does... There's like the quest designer from The Witcher 3 is working on this too. Lots of people that worked on The Witcher 3 is working on this game. And they've, in an interview, said that this game is going to be like the RPG of their dreams. So like, do you think it's going to give the same vibe as The Witcher?
I would like it to have its own identity. It could take some of the, as you listen in the script here, some of the DNA to do something a little bit original. It sort of gives me I remember watching this while I was away on the weekend, and it almost reminded me of The Order a little bit, and the dark and gritty, like sort of monster vibes that were there. I know it's a cinematic / gameplay trailer, but I swear I don't know where the gameplay was personally.
It was literally like 10 seconds.
10 seconds. All right. I must have blinked and missed that part. But it looks interesting. But it's just too early to really tell. Like, I will say I'm subdued excited. I don't want to get too over the moon with it until I actually see something more concrete, I guess. But it sounds like the people behind it have a lot of experience and a good pedigree behind it. And like I said, the concept seems really interesting, and it looks like it's going to get quite bloody and gory, which is cool. Yeah, but I'd like to see more before I really get too hyped, I guess.
Berto, do you think this will be the start of a vampire trend in video games?
Only if they sparkle in the day. Isn't that what they do at Twilight?
Yeah, allegedly.
Press X to sparkle.
X to sparkle. So good.
Look, it's been a while since we've seen a video game trend. Hey, where everyone followed the same thing. I hope so. I love vampires. Vampires are great. I think anything to do with vampires is a fun time. And even in The Witcher, I remember most of the vampire side quests were probably the most morally grey quests. Like, they were a lot of fun, but they were like really made you think as to if you were doing right or wrong. So if they can introduce that into it, that'll be fantastic. But again, it is still too early to tell. It's a very well received trailer. I mean, that's all I saw on the socials. Like, I'm gonna buy this. I'm interested in this. So yeah, they've captured it. I think they can make something out of it.
I wonder if like The Witcher 4 is coming, right? I wonder like if it's gonna be better or worse for which game comes out first. Because if they are kind of like down the same track of what type of game it is, like it's kind of like Ghost of Yotei and Assassin's Creed Shadows, how like there's a similar vibe there. Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see how that plays out. Jamie?
I think we touched on it late last year when we covered the announcement for the new Witcher game. I still think that's miles off. And if they're already at the point with this game, Blood of the Dawnwalker, that they can show some sort of gameplay, I think this is coming out a lot sooner than The Witcher. Because I'm just trying to sort of compare it to Cyberpunk. When we got that initial reveal trailer of like, this is coming, and it was all CG, it was still years before we saw anything gameplay related. So CD is a great studio when they want to be, but it could still be a long time before we see any sort of finished product. So I think there will be enough gap between them that either people don't make the straight comparison or people just forget, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of forget, something I would like to forget is the Until Dawn trailer. So PlayStation Productions and Sony Pictures has revealed the official trailer for the upcoming Until Dawn movie, which is scheduled to be released later this year. The trailer shows that the adaptation is not going to be a precise retelling of the game, but will still include butterfly effect storytelling. The film follows a group of teens who are being killed by monsters over and over again, seemingly coming back to life only to be killed again in a different manner. On PlayStation blog, PlayStation has said, though the movie's story is set in the same world as the game, it was important to us that the movie wasn't just a retelling. Instead, the film will feature fresh characters in a new original story. If you've played the game, you know not everything is what it seems. With the movie, we wanted to keep the audience guessing until the end. We can't wait for fans to discover how the events of the movie connect to the Until Dawn game. Jamie, you've got a lot of thoughts on this. Let them out.
I don't know. I'm a little confused. So I'm just going to ramble as we go because I hadn't heard this statement as of just now. We wanted to keep the audience guessing until the end. I can tell you most of the people, if I spoke to people at work and asked them, have you played Until Dawn? Or are you excited for the movie? I think a lot of people would not even know. I don't think Until Dawn has the cachet that PlayStation think it has, personally. I don't think it's as well known in terms of an exclusive as maybe they're banking on. I could be wrong. But the one thing of trying to do a film based on a game, but then not really reference or follow that game's story is it's an interesting take. It's like, at that point, why not just do an original horror film? You don't need to really focus on the IP, because again, I don't think it's as big as I think PlayStation think it is. You could just make this an original teen horror movie. It doesn't need to be connected to anything in any way. I watched this with the missus, and she watched me play Until Dawn. She really enjoyed it, and she was like, "None of this is the game." Like, she's like pointing out, she's like, "Where's the there's Wendigos?" You get and I think they quickly pop up at one point in the trailer, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's the one thing from the game." And I know they brought the actor who also appears. He's like the clerk at the beginning. But I think this just goes back to the problems that I think a lot of the film industry and TV industry have. It's like, unless it's a established IP already, they kind of don't want to risk on anything. But I just don't see Until Dawn being that thing that's going to make people rush to the cinemas. So just make an original horror movie at that point. And I'm pretty sure the concept of the butterfly effect in a horror movie has been done like only a couple of years back. I remember there was this one where it was a female getting killed, and she kept getting killed by the same killer in different ways. And it was like a Groundhog Day premise, just like this. Like, that's not new either. So why does this exist? I'm so confused. I'm done.
I didn't even know it was coming out this year until the trailer came out. I knew it was in production. I just didn't know it was for this year. I don't really know how to feel about it. It's like I love like horror movies, even like really shitty ones that aren't good. So I think I'll enjoy this. The concept for me, if you take the Until Dawn title away from it, it would be a horror movie I'd go and watch. But I'm a big horror fan. Like, I love horror films. So like I like any, as I said, I like any like stupid horror movie. So yeah, I'll be seeing it at the cinemas. Berto, what do you think?
It looks fun. It looks entertaining. It's got nothing to do with the video game from what I've seen, except for little, I guess, Easter eggs or little glimpses. So this connection that they're alluding to, it's going to be great for people like me who have played it, like you guys who have played it. But it's indifferent. Like, it is what it is at the end of the day. And
I hope the connection is more than just a few Easter eggs, and it's actually like does connect to the game.
It'll be, I reckon it'll be that, the psychiatrist telling the story or whatever. It's got to do something with that, probably. Like, I don't know. Jamie.
Oh, just quickly, like, I remember in the trailer at one point they go, "We have to last until dawn," and I was like,
"Oh yeah, that was a bit cringy, wasn't it?"
The best part of the trailer was reading the comments of like them talking to the director. Are you going to make the movie like Until Dawn? And until what? And it was just like, yeah, just go to the trailer and just read the comments, and you will have a great time.
Yes. Well, speaking of a great time, what ought to be a great time is the Xbox Developer Direct, which is back for another year. The showcase will take place on January 24 and look at what's coming for Xbox players, specifically South of Midnight, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Doom the Dark Ages, and a mystery game, which is yet to be announced. So what can we expect from this Direct? Well, last year's Direct gave us Senua's Saga Hellblade 2's release date, Avowed's initial release date before it got pushed back, and Square Enix showcased Visions of Mana, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was officially announced. So we can at least expect some release dates or windows for the games I mentioned just before. Berto, what game are you excited to learn more about?
Lately, and it's because I bought the whole Doom collection, is Doom, actually. All the other titles that you mentioned, obviously, I've already been looking forward to them, so I'm already in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But one that I haven't really seen much of lately is the Doom game. What's it called again?
The Dark Ages.
And yeah, just seeing that go back to its roots by the looks of it. It's a little bit more. I don't know. I think Eternal was a little bit too big for its own good, so I think this one's a little bit more scaled back, but a little bit more brutal. So, and obviously, what we're watching now, this is the what's this one called again? This is terrible. How I'm forgetting things.
South by Midnight. Oh, South of Midnight.
South
Oh,
of Midnight.
Lord.
Yeah, it looks great. Love it. Like, I want to see more from Xbox this year. The thing I mentioned that earlier. I don't think this is the one where they say the Elder Scrolls 6, but you know, I doubt it. But yeah, Doom definitely. I want to see a lot more.
Jamie, what about you?
The list here is quite strong. As I said, I'm already sort of interested in South of Midnight. Now you got me saying it. I think it looks really interesting, and like I said, once I watched the behind the scenes, hearing about the devs talking about the game a lot more, I was really interested. Claire Obscure, I've said before that's one of my most hyped games for this year. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing an update on that. Doom, I agree with what Berto said. Eternal was very big. Some of the levels felt like an eternity to get through. Whereas I preferred 2016. I thought it was so good, that reboot.
Yeah.
So I hope it sort of more goes down to like quality over quantity. I don't think it did itself any favors with the keeping the repetitive nature in these really massive levels, but nothing really evolved along the way, in my opinion. So I think it's a strong lineup. So I'm interested to basically hear about all of these.
Yeah, mine. I mean, I'm kind of excited to learn more about all of these games. Particularly, yeah, South of Midnight and Claire Obscure. I think if all of these games are coming out this year and don't get delayed, plus the games we mentioned at the start of the episode, I think Xbox is going to have a really, really good year this year.
Yeah.
Now, time for speculation. What do you think the mystery game is going to be? So, yeah, part of me wants it like Square Enix to showcase something again. So I'm going to say Final Fantasy IX Remake. Or, yeah.
Far out, man.
It needs to be something big. I don't want...
You reckon it is? You reckon it's going to be a big game?
It's been rumored for ages, Final Fantasy IX. And, like... That's another prediction, by the way. I think that'll be announced this year.
It's a beautiful Final Fantasy game.
I haven't played it. It's something I also want to play this year for the first time.
The music is so good.
Yeah. But, like, I don't even think, like, what else could it be? Like, any ideas, guys?
No, I really don't, because
What else? Like, it can't be Halo. Like, Halo's dead.
I hate saying that, but yeah. But, like, most of the games that we've mentioned are original IPs, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if there's anything
Doom.
Xbox has done, except for Doom, like, if there's anything Xbox has done recently, is that they've actually committed to trying to make, I guess, a franchise grow. Like, they're trying to spark something into a bigger fire. So they have that Halo again, or they have that Gears of War again, but it's just not, they can't seem to connect the dots properly. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it's original. It could be the Kojima game. Aren't they working with Microsoft on something?
Yeah. But I feel like he wasn't, like, going full throttle into that other game until Death Stranding 2 was out.
Yeah. Is that meant to be out this year?
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah. So maybe a teaser for that. I don't know. But definitely not Elder Scrolls. That's coming at the end of the year.
Yeah. Jamie, any ideas or wish lists?
Yeah, it's probably going to be wish list sort of thing, because like the fact they said mystery game makes me think it's not been spoken about or revealed at all, which means Gears will be out of the question, despite we know that existing. And I feel like Gears is going to get out of the way before they start announcing or even touching Halo again, because it doesn't make sense to dilute the excitement for a next shooter.
Have they? Sorry, with Gears, did they announce the new game? Did they announce any like remasters or anything?
No, I believe it's just the prequel before everything, right?
What if it's a remaster collection? That
boring.
would be cute. Boring.
I don't need another remaster of Gears unless it's coming to PlayStation.
What if it's Halo on PlayStation?
That would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious, yeah. I'd play it.
I love Halo. It's still fun.
Yeah, I'd buy it too. I don't know. Just thinking playing Halo with the DualSense just seems weird to me. But
Yeah, very
dirty.
Yeah.
I'm going, like I said, for my tip, guess, whatever how you want to call it. I'm going to say will bring back Banjo-Kazooie. I've been saying it for years and years and years and years. Every E3, Games Fest, whatever the hell they call themselves or whatever comes past, I'm like, oh, they're going to do something with Banjo-Kazooie. They never do. So again, this is just awesome. Me. Yeah, it's just me as a fanboy of the series. They've been sitting on that IP for so long. Crash came back and it was a big success. Spyro came back, it was a big success. Astrobot once again has shown people want 3D platformers and how fun they can be. And they're just sitting on the Banjo IP, just not doing anything with it. And it's such a waste, I think. So I would love for something to be done for that. But it's not based on anything aside from me just wishing it into existence.
I think you're on the money there, Jamie. I forgot about Banjo-Kazooie.
Everyone has. Microsoft forgot about it for like 20 years.
Well, yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
We will. I guess we'll be chatting about it next week. So hopefully one of us are right. And that is the end of the news segment for this episode. Back to you, Jamie.
Alrighty, now it is time for a new segment of the podcast, the NextPlay Game Corner. Each week, the winner of the previous week will quiz. What did I say? We'll quiz the other panelists using games like trivia, name the game, and more. And there is no winner from last week, so Brad will be kicking us off. Over to you, Brad. Please explain what this is.
Yes. So, for this episode, we will just be doing general trivia, obviously video game related. So I'll read out the question, you say your name, and then say your name if you know the answer, and then that's it. So if you know the answer, say your name, and then obviously whoever gives the correct answer first gets a point.
How many goes?
Got it? Well,
you get it wrong, goes to the next person.
Yeah, and then if they get it wrong, it's open slather again.
Free for all. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Question 1. What game won Game of the Year at the Game Awards in 2019?
Jamie.
Such a confused. That is your name. Actually.
I can't even remember what came out in 2019. I'll just say The Outer Worlds. I don't think it won, though.
Incorrect. Berto, any guesses?
2019. And which? The Game Awards?
Yes. Yeah. The Game Awards.
6 years ago. 6 years ago. Oh, boy. It was Breath of the Wild.
That is incorrect. Breath of the Wild came out in 2017.
Okay.
Damn, so long.
We're still going?
Yeah,
Apparently,
someone
I've got
needs to
no
get it
idea.
right.
Is this where you start giving clues? Because like,
All right, I will list out the nominees, and the first person to say the correct one
do you want me to vamp?
will get the point. Yeah, if you
I
could.
think the Outer Worlds was 2019. Now I'm starting to question myself. All the years blend together.
Yeah.
Once
I don't
COVID
remember
happened,
years anymore.
it was just like everything just fused into one.
Okay. This is what was nominated. The Outer Worlds,
That's a win.
Control, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Death
That's Sekiro.
Stranding,
Berto.
Berto.
It was Sekiro. No, it wasn't Sekiro. It was Sekiro?
It was Sekiro.
Yeah.
Jamie butted in.
Yeah, I said the name of the game, not my name.
All right, Berto, 1 point for you.
Oh, at least Death Stranding didn't win. That's the main thing.
That was a good
Yeah,
year.
I reckon. What was the rest of the nominees? Do you still have that?
Resident Evil 2 and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. So a pretty good year.
Damn, Ultimate was in
Yeah.
2019. Jesus.
Yeah, it feels longer than that. Hey.
Yeah.
Question 2. In most Pokemon games, each region has how many Pokemon gyms?
Jamie,
Jamie.
it's 8.
That is correct.
Of course I was going to get that.
1
I'd be
point for
upset if
you.
I didn't.
Okay. I don't know if either of you will know the answer to this question, but, well, it's not a question, it's a statement. Name 5 hostile mobs in Minecraft.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Jamie.
JB.
I don't even know what mobs are in Minecraft. The pigs?
That is not hostile.
I've got no idea.
Can I
But
try?
I could have a go. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'll
can try.
Okay. The zombies?
Yep.
Zombies again? Green colored zombies? Red colored zombies? That's all I got for you, man. That's all I got,
Seriously?
zombies.
There's 35 and you can only name a zombie.
It's the Ender Dragon.
That is one, yes.
Boom.
You're sharing now, so
Who's the one that blows shit up?
I've never played
Oh.
Minecraft. I still
Just
haven't
work
played
with me. Steve.
Jack
He's one of the
Black.
characters, isn't he?
Is that one?
There's
Jack
wolves.
Black as Steve is a villain.
Is it wolves?
I'ma pay that because they can be hostile.
I almost swore there.
Is there a
The
mummy?
ones with the big noses, and they shoot arrows at you. Is that their official name?
No.
I know
Are
what
they
I'm talking
bats?
about. I'll go giants.
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, there is a giant. Giant's on the list.
Boom.
One more.
Nailed it.
Jamie, if you can get one more, you get the point.
Who's the? There's
Is there like a tree creature? Like an ant or something like that?
No. No.
God
Well,
damn!
there
I know
should
there's
be. That's why I don't play the game, because there's no ants. That's why.
there's the green guy who blows up. I know that, but I don't know the title of it. There's also I
Starts
know
with a
the
C. R. C-R.
there's
E.
also
C-R-E-E-P.
Creeper.
creeper.
Yes, a creeper. Okay.
There we go.
I'm not giving
You just
either
spelt
of you
the
a
whole
point for
word.
that. Yeah, I did. Full stop.
Split it up.
All right. So, Jamie. Well, actually, you're tied, so I need a winner. So I'm gonna need to come up with something else. All right. Can you vamp while I come up with another question?
Do you reckon we've lost all the young listeners at this point? seeing as we don't know what's on Minecraft.
Yes.
It's
But
also
aren't
this
the young
it's a
listeners
Slender
older
Man
now?
looking guy. I remember that.
Yeah, called Enderman.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, I would have been so close if I said Slenderman. I didn't really. I
would have. Yeah.
didn't really like Minecraft that much. I found it really boring. Like I said, I would just dig. I would dig for diamonds and shit. Make my diamond armor, and then I'd dig some more. And everyone else on the server was like building things. And I'm a dig, and then you'd accidentally hit lava and die.
Yeah, I never got
Didn't
into
even-
it. I never got into it ever. I don't understand why I never did, but wasn't my generation, I suppose.
Do you have a question, Brad?
I have a guess who. So I'm going to read out a paragraph on this character's Wikipedia page. And
Okay.
yeah. God, this is going to be hard. Okay.
Let's go.
No, we got this. Someone will get it eventually.
This character is the protagonist of the role-playing video game blank, 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 and blank, and the animated film blank, and appears in several other installments in the wider blank series. He has also appeared in other media such as
Jamie.
The Kingdom... Yes,
Geralt?
incorrect. Such as the Kingdom Hearts series by Square Enix and Disney, and the Super Smash Bros. Series by Nintendo.
Berto.
Yeah,
Cloud Strife.
it is Cloud. So, Berto, you are the winner of this week. Congratulations. You will be hosting next week.
Fantastic.
So, come up with
Now
some
you- now you have a job to do.
straight away.
All right, Jamie, would you like to recap the scoreboard?
I will. Brad, you're on 0. Good work. Berto is on. Well, Berto's on 1 here, but I don't think that's correct. Is it?
No.
Oh, in real time, Berto is now on 2, and I am on 1. So Berto will be in charge of doing homework next week and coming up with questions. I believe that's how the system works. This is very new to me.
I'm going to make it so hard, guys. Honestly.
No,
It's gonna be
I'll get
terrible
it.
time.
I'll win.
Oh,
Watch.
Oh, okay. Those are big words. We'll see what happens. I think that's it for the show. It's been a while, so I forgot how the show runs. But that is the end of this week's episode of the NextPlay Podcast. You can support the podcast by leaving a 5-star review on wherever it is you are listening to us. And don't forget to check out next-play.com.au for the latest video game news and reviews, as well as our socials at NextPlayAU. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and you can even leave a comment below. I believe that's how the YouTubes work. I've been your host, Jamie, and you can find me mostly on Instagram, JamieX66. Almost forgot my handle. And joining me today has been Brad.
You can find me everywhere at Brad_EXP or on Blue Sky, Brad Goodwin, I think. I'll
Very
come up.
confident. You can also follow Berto.
Yeah, you can find me as pause_gamer on Instagram.
All right. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Ciao.